What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz Fantasy Football. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I'm here with my boy, the Dean of Fantasy Football. We're doing our first mock draft, post-draft. Obviously, we got a better look at how all these players are lining up on our consensus rankings. Today, we're using Sleeper, going through. I'm in the 2 spot. Dean's in the 8 spot. Dean, are you excited about getting into our first mock draft of the year?
Oh, absolutely. It's never too early to do mock drafts, and happy to do it with at least one other person besides myself. So, slotted in here at 8. Excited to see how it unfolds in front of me, what you do at 2. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, it's draft season's right around the corner. Let's get prepared.
Hey, I wouldn't say it's right around the corner. It's
That's all
always
I think
time to,
about.
start messing around with the mock drafts. It's never too early. It's never too
Never.
late.
Nope.
So let's hop right into this thing.
Cool.
Heading in, here we go. Justin Jefferson with the first overall pick here. And I think here at the 102, I'm going to have to go with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has been an absolute baller for the Cincinnati Bengals throughout his whole career here. And last year was basically his peak season in fantasy football. That was his best year since his rookie season. Chase finished with 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. He was an absolute monster last year. He's my overall 101 heading into the season. He falls into your lap at 102. I'd be pretty excited. Dean, how you feel with March this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that's that's a nice start to the mock draft season, but whoever has 101s probably fell victim on passing on Justin Jefferson last year and just needs him back. There's a real argument, but I love the combination of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow in that Bengals offense. He's a home run hitter if there was one in fantasy. So, I mean, easy choice for you. And now you have a superstar as a foundation to start this off. Um,
100%. And you could
you know,
potentially stack him here in the future.
oh, absolutely, yeah. Um, Kind of for you. This is something that has fallen into my lap for my personal rankings as I am a big believer in the Sun God, and I'm gonna go with
Okay.
the Monroe St. Brown to start this off at the 8 spot. If he falls to me here at 8, super excited about it. He's just been, I think, one of the most consistent fantasy football players, especially in PPR. That Lions offense has been humming. They're still going to be Super Bowl contenders, and he's going to be the number one option. So ecstatic to get him right there at 108.
Yeah, and for those of you guys, I know we just mentioned it for the first time, but we are drafting for PPR formats right now. Obviously, if it was standard, we'd have a little bit more running backs flying off the board. But right now, the way consensus rankings are going, we have a ton of wide receivers falling off the board early. Dean, who are you going with at your second pick here?
Yeah, this one might get a little. I don't know. Is it too early to get crazy, or do we just go like a little chalk here? I'm not sure what we do
I don't know. It could be
because
frisky right now.
I think I'm gonna go frisky here, and I am a big believer in this guy this year. He has always bounced back from a subpar year. I'm going to turn my attention to running back, and I
Oh,
know Sleeper has him a little low, but I have him a lot more higher. I'm thinking about the 49ers running back Christian
oh,
McCaffrey, who was the consensus 101 last year, did not live up to that. A bunch of injuries. They get rid of Debo. And I just believe in the talent that he is and the system that he's in still. I mean, talk about home run hitters. He is one as well if he's fully healthy for an entire season. So pair him up with Amon St. Brown. I'm loving my mock draft team so far.
100%. I think McCaffrey in that spot is 100% a sleeper at this point. Compared to some of the guys around him, Derrick Henry, we know, is a very consistent player. But I feel like you're dealing with the same thing with Henry that you are McCaffrey. You're banking on them staying healthy at this point late in their careers. I might be a little bit more of a Christian McCaffrey guy than a Derrick Henry guy right now. We'll see, though, how things shake out in training camp
Mhm.
if we have any McCaffrey injury news heading over from the Achilles, stuff like that, that bounce over. So
Yep.
we'll see. With my pick here, we have top available on the board is Tyreek Hill. We already went receiver. Got Lad McConkey, Bucky Irving, some other players mixed in here as well. Luckily for me, being at the turn, I have the luxury of picking the best available player that I think is out here. This might surprise some people. Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey, I am super high on this season. He was incredibly productive last season for the Chargers. And at the end of the year, he was a breakout star for them, a true league winner last season. He is the alpha in this offense. He's going to command 125 plus targets. He's going to command 80 plus receptions at least. I talked about him today in my ADP risers from last year to this year. I am all in on the Lad McConkey train. The investments at the tight end and the wide receiver position this offseason suggest this is Lad McConkey's offense, and we are just living in it. So I'm going Lad McConkey with this pick right here.
Man, I love that so much. And with having a dynamic duo of Jamar Chase, who I keep saying the word home run hitter, but that's what he is, right? He's the one that gets the big yards, big catches, touchdowns. Where Lad, especially in a PPR, he's going to get you a bunch of catches. You are going to rely on him for about a solid 10 points just right off the bat with catches and those yardage that he's going to get. So to have these consistent points on your roster to start your draft is huge when you're hitting into it. And like you said, you have the advantage of the quick wraparound. You believe in your guys, and then you have a lot right in front of you right now. So we do here.
Do have a lot in front of me right now. And the thing I feel safe about is the floor of both the wide receivers that I already picked. If I get lucky, Bucky Irving falls to me on this turn right here, but he didn't. So looking at the guys available right now, I do really like Josh Allen, but I think the quarterback class is incredibly deep this year. I'm going with a guy that I have an absolute man crush on, and this started last season when I hit on him as a sleeper. I'm going Chase Brown in this situation. The Bengals did not bring in significant contribution. I think Brown is in for at least a 65% snap share in that backfield, and the way Zach Taylor running backs have performed in the past suggests that he is in an RB1 territory if he has that workload of 65% plus. I'm going to bank on that, and getting a guy like that in the third round, I absolutely love that value considering who I have at the running back position already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great. He's a guy that was probably a league winner for a lot of guys last year. Chase Brown's awesome, and he was also a person for this draft that people thought the Bengals would invest in one of these top rated running backs, but they didn't. So he speaks volumes to what they believe in Chase Brown. Let me ask you, Ryan, start off your draft, 2 Bengals. Does that give you a little question mark? You know, a lot of people don't like doing that. They want to spread the ball out on different teams.
Listen, this is an offense you want 2 guys involved with, though. The Bengals are going to have to score a ton of points this year in order to be in games. It's going to be a similar situation to where they were in last year. The defensive investments they've made have not made this team good enough defensively for me to think they're going to stop teams this year. I expect the Bengals offense to be in full gear, and I'll take both their RB1 and their wide receiver 1. One thing I really want to mention here, though, Dean, before you pick, a player right here that is available that, you know, seems like he has a very wide consensus right now is Ashton Jeanty. I'm not sure if you're going to go him here. Some people have him at the end of the first. Some people have him all the way at the end of the third right now at this point. I think Jeanty has a ton of volume, but honestly, at this point, we don't know how to rank him. I would have him probably right behind Chase Brown for the running backs that got picked in front of him. I probably like him more than Taylor and Hall. Where do you have Jeanty right now?
Yeah, like you said, Genti's an interesting one. A lot of people are on the hype train. I'm on that as well. It is pretty early, but I kind of look at, especially in this draft scenario right now in our mock, what is in front of me, right? You see a lot of blue. So that's a lot of wide receiver duos that is in front of me right now. So yeah, Jeanty is a consideration. Do I want to kind of go with that? It seems a lot of fun. And I quite honestly, I am between him and another running back. Like you said, I think the quarterback class is deep. There's a lot of tight ends I like as well. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger, man. I'm gonna take the first rookie off the board. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take Ashton Jeanty.
Hey, Ashton Jeanty with a selection.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, you see in front of you what's ahead. That's I think everyone should take accountability. What will fall back
Team
to me?
12 with the team 12 and 10 with 0 RB.
Oof. Hey, listen, that's a strat, a risk I'm willing to take. And, you know, coming back around, there are some nice RB2s available for me now, which, you know, that's the risk of it. But, you know, if this hits out, if he hits and he can be the prospect that we all believe, be a nice duo with him and McCaffrey.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So, you know, looking back at here, I'm usually a guy that will try to solidify those running back position or the wide receiver. I'm not so in love with anyone that's available here at the wide receiver position. There's a lot of guys that have a question marks um, that are sitting on the top of here. Man, this is tough, man.
This really does feel like the drop off point.
It really does, yeah. And like I'm also looking at kind of the tight end class, and I don't. There's two tight ends, and you see them at the top, George Kittle and Sam Laporta. I love Sam Laporta, but there is a part of me that I'm saying if he's getting catches, then that takes away from my first round pick, and I'm on Ross St. Brown. Um, man, this is tough. I might just switch it up, and you know what? I'm gonna believe in the second year of Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, he got a
Ooh,
lot of overshadowed. I fell victim to him last year. I picked him way too early in the second, just because like a lot of consensus, and I just kind of felt pressured, especially on draft day. But
yeah.
he's got the talent. I mean, overshadowed by Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. and even Lad McConkey. Marvin Harrison has the talent. He has the spot on the roster, and with Kyler Murray, it was up and down, but he's still a talented quarterback. So I'm going to take the second year on him.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a guy at the fourth round is a value right now. I think a lot of people are expecting him, to be that great player right out of the gate as a rookie. That just wasn't the case for him. And now we see him here rightfully priced where he should be. I think it's a great value, has an extremely high floor. Very good pick for you right there. Now I'm in an interesting spot here. Rashee Rice, I absolutely love, but we have no clue how much he's absolutely actually going to play this year. In terms, I know there's a suspension coming for sure. Chuba Hubbard was really good for the Carolina Panthers last year. Definitely a guy I'm taking a look at. You mentioned tight end. I think George Kittle at this point for me makes a ton of sense. I'm looking at some of the other players available. I could get a significant upgrade at the tight end position. I have a guy that scores 7 to 8 touchdowns per year, has those spike weeks to go win me some weeks. Looking at the running backs, I don't necessarily love this class right now. Quarterbacks, I'm not reaching on any of these guys available. Wide receivers, I already have two guys. I don't think these guys strike me as guys where I'm like, man, I really have to pick these guys. I think it's safe to say George Kittle makes a ton of sense in this slot. And then turning back around, this guy takes Alvin Kamara and Rashee Rice. He has a very risky team over there, team one. But that
Trouble.
leaves me with the option of taking Chuba Hubbard or Joe Mixon. I'm going to lean on the side of fresher legs and go Chuba Hubbard. He was absolutely amazing last year for the Carolina Panthers. He got that contract
Mhm.
extension. We know that they brought in Rico Dowdle. They drafted a running back as well, but I really like the way Chuba Hubbard produced in this offense. He was incredibly good. Year two of Bryce Young. I think this offense takes another step forward. I'm going to invest in the Carolina Panthers. I know Joe Mixon here was incredibly good last year, but at some point, Joe Mixon is not going to stay this healthy and stay this consistent in his career. I think it's this year with a pretty beat up Houston Texans interior offensive line.
Yeah, I love that for you. I mean, his Chuba Hubbard's biggest threat was Jonathan Brooks. Went down with another injury, and then the Panthers said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to extend you." I love
Yeah,
this Panthers team this year. I think they're turning it around. Bryce Young looked great at the end of the season. So, yeah, phenomenal pairing. I mean, to start off your draft, just a lot of reliable guys. It may not, honestly, on paper, if you rewind last year, people would laugh at you that you went in with Chase Brown and Chuba Hubbard, but these are
and
great
Lad
value picks.
McConkey, they'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're relying all on Chase and Kittle." Oh,
the
yeah,
home run
yeah.
hitter,
Little
man.
do you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Uh, yeah, so as I go here, I thought, man, there are some big question marks. I think I kind of just have to take the value. I told you I didn't want to pair Amon-Ra St. Brown with Sam Laporta, but to me, he is by far the best player on here right now. I know we can look at probably receiver maybe for myself. But as of right now, the top guy that's rated on sleeper is DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
We have no idea who's throwing him the ball, right? Is it going to be Will Howard? Will it be Skylar Thompson or Mason Rudolph? I'm not going to trust that right now. Maybe fast forward, if it's Aaron Rodgers, I can talk myself into it.
Yeah, and
But
I
as of
think
right
his
now,
ADP probably shoots up a whole round too with Rodgers there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't like DK's pairing with George Pickens as being a combo. It doesn't make sense to me, but I would take DK over Pickens. But as of right now, you know what? I'm gonna go to Lions. I'm gonna be rooting for Detroit all year long.
You gotta be. You gotta
I
be at
have
this
to.
point.
It's the investment. Oh boy.
Mahomes in the 6.
Okay. Okay. Now this gets interesting. Man, there is a lot and to say about here, man. There's a lot of question marks. There's this group of wide receivers I'm looking at right now. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Uh,
Yeah.
it's no one that I want that bad, right? There's nobody there. But on the running back side, there is some depth I would love to have on my roster to start this out. You know, as you look here, you see Amari and Hampton up there with Najee Harris, both teammates. You don't know how that's going to affect dynasty wise. Yeah, sure, love Hampton, would love to have him on my team, but right now
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this. But we did do a video, and I think I'm going to take your guy. I think I'm going to rely on Isaiah Pacheco. Uh,
Damn.
yeah, he's gonna be my guy. Talked. I think last year was a little bit of fluky, injury-based kind of year. He's their RB1. They're a team that didn't address it. And you know, if I'm wrong about the McCaffrey thing, and I have to bump up Jeanty to my RB1, and I have Pacheco as my RB2, hey, not bad at all. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Pacheco there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this right now, and I feel absolutely screwed over by all these people in front of me right now. You take Pacheco. Team 7 takes Worthy, who is an option for me here. Omari and Hampton goes as well. I'm sitting here like, man, all these guys in front of me picked the guys I was interested in, and now I'm stuck in this point where I'm looking at not necessarily the best options right now available. To be honest, Jacoby Myers is a guy that stands out a little bit to me. He was very productive and is incredibly a consistent option for the Raiders. We know Geno Smith historically hasn't been a guy that throws to his tight ends very often. I think Myers could be in for a very productive year for them. I don't know if I'm going to go him or not. Looking at the board, I mean, running back wise, not very intriguing at this point. We're starting to get to handcuff territory right here. Not ideal there. Wide receiver wise, I do really like Brandon Ayuk. I do. I just don't know how far down are we. Is he going to get traded? Is he going to be a 49er? If he can live up to what he did in 2023, and now he doesn't have Debo Samuel either, it's intriguing. It really is. It's a
Mm-hmm.
high upside option at receiver. But do I stay risky or do I stay safe here? I think Ayuk should be rated higher, but Jacoby Myers is a safer pick. But we always pick for upside in fantasy football, so we're going to go Brandon Ayuk here in the slot, and we'll see what happens at this point. So Tony Pollard, Kyler Murray go. We still have the Jacoby Myers option. We could go our 4th receiver here and use him as trade bait down the line. Running back wise, PPR format, it's interesting. I think these guys, the first 3 at least, definitely have opportunities to play. Out of those guys left, it's hit or miss at that point who we're seeing there. Quarterback wise, we're starting to get into the point where there's not necessarily guys available for us to take. You know, I am going to go for the best available player, and it's Jacoby Myers. I'm going to use him as trade bait down the stretch. I have an elite group of receivers. I'm going to pass on the running back and rely on some sleepers late in the draft.
Man, I was hoping you weren't going to go wide receiver. I was hoping that some of these guys would start falling, and the 3 that I was interested in went right there: Myers, Adunze, and Shakir. So tough break for me. I'm probably gonna stay away from the running back, like you said. This is kind of the group you're not sure about. Probably a big. This is the group kind of when we get in those training camps and you hear the good stories or the bad ones,
Yeah.
and then it starts changing your mind. Right here in May, maybe not so much. But what I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go receiver here, and the one that really excites me, and like you said, for that upside, is the guy who got a new quarterback and the number 1 overall pick in the quarterback. I'm gonna go with Calvin Ridley, man.
Sneaky.
I know he's been up and down these years, but for him to be my flex option and he's still the number 1 on a team that just got their new franchise quarterback, I'm going to play into that. I'm going to play in that, absolutely. Hope for that upside. And, hopefully Calvin really turns into the guy that we all loved.
Yeah. Say 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah. Absolutely. And now, I mean, a run on tight ends, 2 quarterbacks go. I thought Jared Goff would be nice to have, to be honest, on the
Yeah,
team
good
to
stack
pair
for you
with
right there.
the Lions. Tough break, but there is a guy here that I do
Ooh,
have ranked higher than Goff. And maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's a second-year guy, and I kind of love Bo Nix, and I thought
yeah.
he was explosive last year in the Sean Payton offense, was really great. So, yeah, man, you know what? Man, I do like him a lot, but there are some other guys I really have a big high hopes for. You know what? I think I'm pulling back the card here, Ryan.
Oh,
I think I am. I don't think I can do this.
where you going with?
Oh man. Am I? Yes. I'm going to turn back to the wide receivers to get some depth. And even though this guy is in a wide receiver room that doesn't make a lot of sense, to me, I think he's the most talented. I'm going to go with Jaden Reed.
Oh,
Yeah. It seemed like things didn't really click out last year, but when they did, points came in
yes.
bunches. So just looking at from that quarterback depth, I know I said Bo Nix, but the quarterbacks, I still have a lot of belief in those guys down there. So I'm going to go with more depth on the flex side of things, and I'm going to go with Jaden Reed.
So that's, like I said, it's a boom or bust pick, right?
Yeah.
But with that type of a pick, that's what you're looking for. If he can
Mhm.
hit, you definitely have your flex of the future or even trade value that you can use to upgrade one of your positions as well. At
Absolutely.
this point here in the 8th round, I hate to do it to you, but Bo Nix is really staring at me
I
at this
talked him up
point
too
now.
much.
You did talk. I was looking at him a little bit. He's staring me up right now, and I just have to go with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is an incredibly high upside option for this team. Get the guy a running back. He's going to be even more efficient. I think there's a lot of quarterbacks this year that have high upside throughout this class, but I think Bo Nix at this point in the 8th round makes a ton of sense for my team. And taking a look at the turn here, I get my next guy, TreVeyon Henderson. No doubt about it. We're going
Love
with
that.
TreVeyon Henderson here. Henderson is an explosive pass catching back who can easily take in this backfield role right away. I think finding him in the 9th round, throwing a flyer on him as my 3rd running back is something I need to do.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, he's one of my guys, someone I'm looking out for. Uh and honestly, any draft, no matter what it is, dynasty, redraft, you name it. I
Yeah,
think he's just going to be a demon, and especially like you said, we're in PPR right now. This is where he's going to thrive in.
100%.
So yeah, phenomenal. I mean, I love it back to back. Now for myself, I'm kind of in a weird situation again. This is another group that I don't. You know what?
It's the dead zone, Dean.
It really is. I don't want to like. There's some. I'll be honest with you. There's some really good tight ends right now that I would have liked. I would have liked, but when I took Laporta, like I said, he was the best overall player in my eyes. So that's why I took him. Just pure talent and fantasy value. That's why I took him. There's some good options here. There's some guys that I like that could jump up this year, but I'm not going to double up that. I think that's silly. I'm going to get a guy that I think is going to be pushed up into the depth charts with a veteran that left the team, and that's Ricky Pearsall. I think he's a guy that's going to jump in to the Niners system really well. It was confusing last year for the Niners. They didn't perform well at all. Now with Debo gone, I could see Pearsall being in that role, but also still being a great complement to Brandon Ayuk when he's back. So I like him a lot more, especially PPR wise, than Juwan Jennings. So
Yeah.
let's see. So Caleb and Shroud went. That's interesting.
So you're looking at the QBs, is what you're saying.
I am, man, and like, oh, this hurts. Because there's a guy that I like, but he's not. Man, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go quarterback. This might hurt as a Giants fan, but I'm gonna go.
You're doing it.
I'm gonna go Dak. When healthy, he is just. Listen, last time he's been fully healthy, he was, I think, runner-up in MVP votes. He's got one of the best weapons in the league in CD Lamb. I don't know. I just think down here, you see the guys he went after right here. I think we're in the 10th. I'll take
Yeah.
that all day. I'll take Dak Prescott, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he gets behind Williams, Stroud, Love, before
Hmm.
May, Tua. Like, that's right around where he should be picked.
Yeah, I think this is just a spot on value for him. What are you thinking, Ryan?
I'm not thinking quarterback, that's for sure. I'm locking in my
You're
one
saying-
quarterback. I don't know how this guy is in the 10th round valued, but Quinshon Judkins has an absolute clear path to taking over a backfield
Absolutely.
right away. Finding him in the 10th round feels like a steal. I'm going to add him to my running back room and hope that he can produce. I now have 2 rookie upside options with 2 starters that I know are going to be great. 4 good receivers, a quarterback, a tight end. I absolutely love where my team's looking with 5 rounds left here.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I could go get running backs. I think Braylon Allen's going to have a bigger role than people expect this year. Outside of that, there's not a ton of upside that I want to go for at this point. Quarterback-wise, not really interesting there. Wide receiver, I can get behind Ted McMillan at this point. In the 11th round, I'm throwing a flyer on a wide receiver. I might as well throw a flyer on the 8th overall pick at the draft. Why not just go pick the best overall wide receiver who's projected for close to 900 receiving yards? I'm going to take another Carolina Panther. It looks like I'm clearly investing in the Bryce Young breakout being a real thing.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you look at your last 3 picks, you set up your lineup to where that top can be your starters from week 1, right? And you can, you know, get points up, get some wins, and wait for these 3 rookies to solidify themselves. And
100%.
these are 2 running backs that can be RB1s in their system. This is Ted McMillan, who was drafted to be wide receiver 1, right? So, I mean, phenomenal. Just, you're literally just rolling the dice, and if they hit, they either jump into your lineup or they are beautiful trade pieces to, maybe improve on those secondary for your lineup. So yeah, absolutely love it. Crushing it so far.
100%, 100%. Who are you going with here, Dean?
Man, this is. Is there a way to say even more of a dead zone? Because I think we're there.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of, this may be, I don't know, I wouldn't say silly, but this is kind of the territory where you really want to make sure you kind of have insurance. I think, like, I invested a second round pick in Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna go with Isaac Grendo. I'm just gonna get my handcuff out of the way. I'm not gonna risk anything. He's there for me. I'm gonna make sure that if I do lose Christian McCaffrey, I got his backup. Grendo had a great what week was that? He had a phenomenal week, but he was solid for the Niners. They just overall weren't awesome, but
I feel like if you're drafting McCaffrey too this year, Grendo feels like an absolute must to get.
Absolutely, yeah. Exactly. It's just to cover my tail when I believe in McCaffrey, and then maybe the story is just over. It's just like, no, well, don't worry, I got the backup. It's fine.
You gotta fall back.
Yeah, exactly. To save face. This is an interesting position I'm in. I actually liked Rashid Shaheed a lot. He was on my team last year, was awesome, got hurt, so kind of upset, got sniped in front of there. So kind of changes my thinking. I'm in between 2, but as I'm looking at, I'm in between getting a QB2 just for upside and what I believe in, or just adding to depth into somebody that I think is going to thrive in a specific system. I think I'm going to lean with the guy that can thrive in a system. I'm going to go with Marvin Mims. He's a guy that is going to be a deep sleeper this year, a guy that really is kind of hitting on a lot of things late in the year. I mean, you saw the final, you look at his numbers right there on the final few weeks. Pretty good. If I'm actually looking at that correctly.
No, he had some breakout weeks the final few weeks.
Yeah. So
30.2 in week 17 and then 22, that week. He had 19.9 week 13.
Yeah, exactly. So he ended it hot. This team went into the playoffs. I think they're just going to continue to roll. So I'm going to take a flyer on him. I think he could be Bo Nix's. I spoke very highly of Bo Nix. I think because of Marvin Mims will thrive in that as well.
Yeah, and I'm in an interesting spot here. I have just been rookie galore to start this draft, and obviously there's a guy. There's a guy that I absolutely love in Travis Hunter who will not be going this late in draft, so it feels criminal to find him here at this point. But Travis Hunter is going to be focusing on offense first. He is going to be the wide receiver 2 in Jacksonville. If you can get him after round 9, regardless, I don't have any clue how Sleeper doesn't have him higher and we didn't get to talk about him.
That's so true.
It feels almost wrong of me to pick him here, so I'm not going to pick him because he shouldn't be available this late. But Travis Hunter should be going between probably like right after these guys, like Shakir, round 8, right around there. But Hunter, great pick. The running back that I want to target here, I'm going to have to scroll down this list a little bit to even find him. It's RJ Harvey. Harvey's a guy that has a clear opportunity to work into the Broncos backfield as the RB1 there very quickly. If he's available after round 8 or 9, I'm not even going to hesitate. I've picked 3 rookie running backs now that have a clear opportunity to winning their backfield week 1. And obviously when we work closer to draft day, they're not going to come as big of values as we're getting them right now. But right now they're values because they're rookies working into a backfield. And I want to make things interesting here and just get a player I absolutely love at the end of drafts. Justin Fields, starting quarterback for the Jets. Let me get that rushing upside and those points every single week. I am going to have him perform, probably get 20 points 4 out of his first 6 weeks and say, guys, I got 2 quarterbacks. You guys can have one. I'll upgrade one of my positions. And we're going to throw Justin Fields at the bottom of our roster, and then we're just going to pick best kicker and defense available.
Man, that's what I was trying to think about. Hopefully he was trying to get back to me, but oh man, that's a great pick. I love that so much. Even when you're going to go back to the Travis Hunter thing, hey, listen, that's an opportunity where I'm happy this is my first one and we're doing it because sometimes you fall victim to the rankings of whatever platform you're on, and I don't know how each platform is going to adjust with Travis Hunter, but he's definitely somebody that should be on your roster come week 1 of fantasy. So definitely just that's where the preparation comes in. That's where the research is when you watch, all these videos, these articles.
Is look, you got Juwan Jennings sitting here who should have been picked already with their current rankings.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm going to take one out of your playbook here, Ryan. I'm going to go with a rookie running back that I think has the opportunity to be RB1 this season, and that's going to be Caleb Johnson for the Steelers. I think he has a really opportunity here. I know Jalen Warren's there, but this dude just screams Pittsburgh. Like, I just see it. Maybe it's just that Iowa was the same colors, but I think he has an opportunity to really be the RB1. So, I mean, listen, you got the sexy ones. I love it. But this is going to be the hard-hitting one at the goal line. May get probably like 20-plus touches when it comes time where I'm fighting for a playoff spot, and he can jump into, maybe my lineup, we'll see.
100%. Now we get to the most boring part of the draft, kickers and defense.
Yeah. Hooray. I will say this is sometimes where I'm a guy that I'll try to utilize a IR spot. If somebody is hurt that I know of. I think last year, like, the really sexy one was like Jonathan Brooks, because everyone thought he'd just come back. You put him on IR and then he's come back there. I haven't done enough research to like see who that would be. So I'm just gonna go with I'm gonna take your kicker. I'm just gonna take Bugger. just because we're here. And that's the fun thing about kickers too. It's really just a crapshoot, but also just the fun to mess with your friends. Your Chiefs fans. So I'm gonna take your guy.
Jake Bates was good last year. I'll pick Jake Bates.
Yeah, there you go. That's practically you're practically
Defense
coming at me
every
with
single
my
time for
my team.
defense. I go easiest matchup week 1 too. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know who it
streamline
does.
that thing.
Yeah, 100% a defensive streamer. That is all I'm about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just boom. I don't
Bang.
even know who they're playing week 1, but I love it. Yeah.
But there it is, guys. Our first mock draft of the year. I ended up with Chase, McConkey, Brown, Kittle, Hubbard, Ayuk, Myers, Nix, Henderson, Judkins, McMillan, Harvey, and then Fields. And then Dean ended up with Amon-Ra, McCaffrey, Jeanty, Harrison Jr., Laporta, Pacheco, Ridley, Reed, Pearsall, Prescott, Grendo, Mims, Caleb Johnson. Dean, let's close this with our thoughts on both our teams. What's your opinion on your current roster right now?
Yeah, so like everyone after they draft, I hate my team. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? I love the risk I kind of took, waiting for certain guys to wrap around. I got it. I like that I'm doing these because it gets the rust off. I think I have a high power, top heavy team with McCaffrey and Amon-Ra, really banking on a second year guy, Marvin Harrison Jr., and then relying on a rookie as well as with Jeanty. So risky team, but fun. But also, like I said, knocking off the rust because I love what you did with a lot of these rookies on your team. Something that people got to look out for this year.
Yeah, I mean, I like my team. I'll just say that. I really like what I was able to walk away with. I think it was partly due to sleepers rankings being a little bit whack. I think those rookies falling to me like they did all there and still having more to pick from is not going to happen. But I truly think my goal this year is to walk away with 4 rookies, get my players, embed them into my starting lineup, and then have those rookies sitting there where I can plug and play. Because it feels like there's a lot of rookies with clear opportunities to winning backfields by week 4 or wide receiver rooms by week 4. So I'm very excited about that. Let us know down in the comment section below how me and Dean did with our drafts. Who won? Who had the better draft? Who's going to win this league? That's never going to be recorded. Let us know down in the comment section below, and me and Dean will catch you guys next time on Blitz Fantasy Football.